Gentlemen over 60, I know this might sound unconventional at first, but I want you to take a very close look at what I am holding in my hand. This ordinary toothbrush, the exact same kind sitting in your bathroom right now, could actually be the hidden key to reclaiming immediate firmness and physical confidence in less than 30 seconds. I am not joking, and I am certainly not talking about using it on your teeth. There is a very specific neurological point on your body that functions like a dormant switch. When stimulated gently with these soft bristles, you activate a direct sensory pathway that awakens your natural vigor almost instantly. I am Dr. Clara Vance, and what I am about to share with you is grounded in pure biological science. You don't need expensive pills or complicated gadgets, because your body is already hardwired to respond to this technique from the very first time you try it. Before we dive into the exact mechanics, I need to know who is ready to take control of their vitality. If you are 50, 60, or 70 and still have that burning desire to stay strong and active, do me a favor and join our community by sharing your age in the comments right now. Before I show you exactly how to do it, I need to explain the biological mechanism behind this method, because understanding the why is the only way you will perform it correctly. If you don't grasp the science, you might think this is just a gimmick and skip the most important details. But I assure you, what we are discussing is pure human anatomy. Between the scrotal sac and the anus, there is a small, often overlooked area called the perineum. Most men have no idea that this specific spot is one of the most vital regions of their entire physiology. I like to call this area the information highway of masculinity, because of what lies just beneath the surface, the pudendal nerve. This nerve is an absolute powerhouse. It is the primary structure responsible for transmitting sensations to the pelvic region and controlling the muscles of the pelvic floor. It is essentially the master cable connecting your brain directly to your intimate response center. Think of your nervous system as a complex electrical circuit in a house. Over the years, especially after 50 or 60, that connection can become a bit sluggish or dormant. What we are doing with this technique is physically reactivating that circuit. When you apply targeted stimulation to the perineum, whether through gentle vibration or rhythmic pressure, you are physically firing up the pudendal nerve. Here is where the biological magic happens. When that nerve is triggered, it sends an urgent signal to your brain that says, we need to prioritize blood flow to the center immediately. Medical studies, including research published in journals of sexual medicine, have shown that stimulating this specific neural pathway can significantly improve the physical response in men experiencing mild to moderate challenges. You are simply flipping a biological switch that your body is already designed to obey. By using a toothbrush, you are providing the perfect amount of sensory input, not too much, not too little, to turn that light back on. It doesn't matter if you are 60 or 75, the anatomy remains the same, and your body is ready to respond if you just know how to talk to it. Now, before I show you exactly how to move the brush, I need to warn you about something absolutely crucial. There is a specific reason why many men attempt similar techniques and fail, and it is not because their bodies aren't working, it is because they commit one of 3 fatal errors. Listen to me very carefully, because if you make even one of these mistakes, you will ruin the technique entirely and think I have misled you. Most men commit these errors without even realizing it, simply because they believe more is better. The first and most common mistake is applying too much force. I want you to understand the delicate anatomy of your own body. Your perineum is an extremely sensitive zone. The pudendal nerve I mentioned earlier is located very close to the surface of the skin in this area. It is not protected by thick layers of muscle or fat, like the nerves in your legs or arms. If you press too hard with your fingers or use a rigid object aggressively, you can actually cause the opposite effect of what we want. Instead of stimulating the nerve, you might stun or numb it. Imagine hitting your elbow against a table. You feel that sharp cramp and then a lingering numbness. That is exactly what we do not want to happen down there. If you are too aggressive, you can desensitize the area or cause discomfort, which kills the mood instantly. This is why I insist on using a soft bristle toothbrush. We are looking for a subtle vibration, not a deep tissue massage. The second error is doing it for too long. This is where male intuition often goes wrong. Many think that if 30 seconds are good, then 5 minutes must be incredible. Incorrect. Absolutely incorrect. Your nervous system has something called a refractory period. If you stimulate a nerve continuously without stopping, it eventually stops sending new signals to the brain and simply shuts down to protect itself. If you stay there brushing for minutes, you are wasting your time and boring your nervous system. 20 to 30 seconds is all that is required to send the alert signal. Anything more than that is counterproductive. The third error is the wrong timing. Timing is everything. This technique works best when performed within a very specific golden window. This window is immediately before intimacy. I am talking about 2 to 5 minutes before you need your body to respond. If you do it too early, say 20 minutes before while you are getting dressed or actually brushing your teeth, the effect will fade. The nerve impulse is a sharp signal designed for immediate action. If you wait too long, the blood that was mobilized will begin to disperse back to the rest of the body. Conversely, if you wait until you are already in the moment and struggling, you might be too anxious for it to work. You must learn to harness that 2 to 5 minute sweet spot where biology and desire meet. Avoid these 3 errors, and you will be ready for success. Now that we know what not to do, let's move directly into action. I am going to show you exactly how to execute this technique step by step. I want you to pay very close attention, because in this specific method, precision is far more important than force. Your body responds to the quality of the signal, not the intensity. The first step is the selection of your tool, and this is non-negotiable. You need a toothbrush with soft bristles. If you go to the pharmacy or the supermarket, you will see packages labeled hard, medium, or soft. You want the softest one available. Why? Because hard or medium bristles are designed for dental enamel, which is the hardest substance in the human body. However, the skin of your perineum is thin and delicate. Using hard bristles, there would be like using fine sandpaper. We don't want irritation, we want gentle stimulation. Additionally, please use a new brush or one dedicated exclusively to this practice. Hygiene is fundamental. You don't want to transfer bacteria from your mouth to that sensitive area, nor vice versa. It is a tiny investment of just a few dollars that is absolutely worth it for your health. Now for the technique itself. Find a comfortable position where you feel relaxed. You can sit on the edge of your bed, on a chair, or if you prefer, you can do this standing with one leg slightly raised on a footrest. The important thing is that you can comfortably access the zone between the scrotal sac and the anus. Take the brush and place the bristles directly onto the perineum. Apply very light pressure, just enough so you feel the bristles are in firm contact with the skin, but without crushing them. You have 2 primary movements you can use. The first consists of small rhythmic circles. Imagine you are polishing a very small, valuable coin. You aren't scrubbing a stain off the floor, you are activating a sensor. Make smooth, constant circles, maintaining a calm and steady pace. The second option is a gentle tapping movement. Lift and lower the brush slightly, as if your fingers were drumming on a table or like light rain falling on a roof. This tap-tap-tap movement sends very subtle shock waves that travel through the pudendal nerve directly to your central system. The goal is to create a constant vibration that tells your brain, send blood here, maintain flow here. Keep this movement going for only 20 to 30 seconds. Close your eyes and concentrate on the sensation. You should begin to feel a slight warmth or a tingling at the base of your pelvis. That is the signal that your circulation is waking up. Now I want you to listen with absolute focus, because what I am about to tell you is the missing piece of the puzzle for most men. The toothbrush technique is powerful, yes, and it works on its own, but there is an additional strategy that makes it work 10 times better and faster. You see, physical stimulation is only half of the equation. You could be stimulating the pudendal nerve perfectly, but if your brain is anxious, if you are worried thinking, will this work, or I hope I don't fail, then your body is releasing adrenaline. And adrenaline is the #1 enemy of your natural vigor. Adrenaline constricts blood vessels, it makes them close up. So even if the nerve is screaming to send blood, if the pipes are closed due to stress, the blood simply cannot pass through. You need to open those floodgates. You need to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. This is the rest and digest state. the only state in which your body allows a deep relaxation of the arteries so they can fill completely. How do we activate this system at will in a matter of seconds? Through breathing. But not just any breathing. I am going to teach you the 424 protocol. It is a mathematical formula to hack your nervous system. It consists of inhaling deeply through your nose for 4 seconds, holding the air inside your lungs for 2 seconds, and then exhaling slowly through your mouth for another 4 seconds. Let me guide you through it. First, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel how your abdomen expands, not just your chest. Now hold. 1, 2. This allows the oxygen exchange to fully occur. And now, the most important part, exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let all the air out gently, as if you were fogging up a mirror or blowing on a candle without putting it out. When you exhale in this slow, controlled way, you are sending a direct signal to your brain that says, "We are safe, relax." And when the brain receives that message, it releases the tension in your blood vessels and allows the flow to skyrocket. Here is the expert secret. You must do this at the same time you are using the toothbrush. I know it sounds like I'm asking you to do 2 things at once, but your body will learn quickly. Imagine the scene. You are sitting or standing. Your hand is making those small rhythmic circles or gentle tapping with the brush on your perineum. That is the physical rhythm. And on top of that, you overlay the rhythm of your breath. While your hand stimulates the nerve, you inhale 4, hold 2, and exhale 4. This combination is explosive. On one side, the brush sends the attack command to send blood. On the other, the breath opens the highways so that blood arrives without obstacles. Wait a moment, please do not leave yet. What we have just learned with the toothbrush and the breathing technique is revolutionary. Yes, but I have to be honest with you. There is one scenario where you could do all of that perfectly and still not get the result you desire, and I need to explain why so you don't get frustrated if it happens to you. Let's use a very simple analogy so you can understand it perfectly. Imagine you have a beautiful lamp on your nightstand. The toothbrush technique I just taught you is like putting your finger on the switch and pressing it. When you stimulate the nerve, you are clicking the switch to turn on the light. But what happens if you press the switch and the light doesn't come on? Does it mean the switch is broken? Not necessarily. It could simply mean there is no electricity in the house, or that the cable carrying the current is damaged or cut. In your body, the switch is the nerve, but the electricity that makes the lamp glow is your blood. And this is where men over 60 often face their greatest hidden challenge. As we age, our internal plumbing system changes. When you were 20, your arteries were like wide, clean and flexible highways. Blood could run through them at full speed without any obstacles. A small thought or a touch was enough for blood to flood the area in seconds. But after decades of life, stress, or simply due to the natural passage of time, those highways begin to change. They become a bit narrower. The walls of the blood vessels become a bit stiffer, less elastic. So what happens? You use the toothbrush, your brain receives the signal, and your brain shouts, "Send blood now." But the blood encounters slow traffic. It tries to get there, but the pipes are narrow and the flow is weak. The result is that you might feel a tingling, but you don't achieve that total firmness. This is not your fault. It is simply the physics of aging. But the good news is that you don't have to resign yourself to it. The solution is to increase the voltage. We need to improve the quality and speed of your blood flow before you even touch that switch. We need to load your body with a special fuel that dilates those highways and allows the blood to flow like a torrent. Here is the solution. I present to you what I call the 30-minute rocket formula. It is a simple, economical, and 100% natural combination that will prepare your body to respond to the toothbrush stimulus with a potency you may not have felt in a long time. To understand why this works, you only need to learn one medical term, nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a molecule that your body produces naturally. Its job is to tell your blood vessels to relax and open wide. When you have high levels of nitric oxide, blood flows without resistance. When you have low levels, which is common after 50, the arteries stay rigid. We are going to raise those levels using 2 kitchen kings, garlic and ginger. but the key lies in how and when you consume them. First, let's talk about garlic. Garlic contains a compound called allicin, one of the most powerful natural vasodilators in existence. It essentially does the dirty work of cleaning and opening the paths so blood can pass through. Second, ginger. Ginger is a circulatory stimulant. It increases body temperature and helps your heart pump with a bit more vigor, pushing blood to the farthest corners of your body. Here is the exact protocol you must follow. This ritual should begin between 30 and 45 minutes before you plan to use the toothbrush technique. That is the time it takes for your digestive system to process the compounds and send them into the bloodstream. Step 1. The activating infusion. Go to your kitchen. Take a piece of fresh ginger, roughly the size of your thumb. Don't use powder. Use the fresh root. Wash it well and crush it gently with the handle of a knife to release its essential oils. Put that ginger in a cup and pour boiling water over it. Cover it and let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes. You want a concentrated, spicy infusion. Drink it while it's still hot. You'll feel a pleasant warmth spreading from your stomach. That's the sign your circulation is waking up. Step 2. The power capsule. While drinking your tea, you need to consume 1 small clove of raw garlic. Cooking it destroys the allicin, so it must be raw. To avoid the burn or breath, peel it, cut it into tiny pill-sized pieces, let it sit for a minute to activate the allicin, and then simply swallow the pieces with your tea like pills. Do not chew them. By doing this 30 minutes before, you are saturating your blood with nitric oxide, creating the perfect electricity for when you hit the switch. Let's summarize everything so you have no doubts tonight. You now have an infallible 3-step master plan. Step 1. Load the fuel. 45 minutes before, drink your hot ginger infusion and take the small piece of raw garlic. This prepares your arteries and saturates your blood with nitric oxide. Step 2. Activate the switch. When there are only 2 to 5 minutes left for that special moment, use your soft toothbrush on the perineum for just 30 seconds, always synchronized with your deep 4-2-4 breathing. Step 3. Stop thinking, relax, and allow your body to respond with that renewed energy. Remember, patience is your best friend. Listen to your body, do not force it, and let it flow naturally. Now listen closely. Knowledge is only theory if you do not take action. There is no use in knowing this if you don't apply it. So, I have a personal challenge for you. I want you to try this toothbrush and ginger duo tonight or tomorrow morning. Don't leave it for later. Then, do me a huge favor. Come back to this video and leave a comment telling me how you felt, or simply write "Mission accomplished." Your real experience will help inspire thousands of men in our community. If you value your health and want more natural, direct advice like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button now. I am Dr. Clara Vance. Take care, trust your body, and I wish you a wonderful night full of vigor. Until next time.